I've always had a fascination with machinery. These days we live in an electronic age where devices work invisibly and undetectably through computer hardware and software. As wonderful as this is, it's hard to see technology like this expressing itself in the same way that a mechanical watch does. The guts of the machine can be heard, felt and observed working. So then, as technology ages, it is superseded, and now digital music is on demand and superb quality, but to me, it is lacking something. There's a ritual that is interactive and tactile that's absent with a digital format. With music of a digital origin, something that I need is not there. So you might be asking yourself, what has any of that got to do with photography? Well, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know that so far all of them have been about shooting film through a large format camera. So that raises a question. So why do people still shoot film? Well, there are many reasons for that, and most of them are personal to the individual photographer. But for me, I use film because it allows me to use a large format camera, and it's that joy of using a really hands-on mechanical no frills device that I really enjoy. Well, if you haven't already guessed by the scenery in the background, I'm in the Scottish Highlands today, just a few miles north of Ullapool where I'm staying for the week, and I've come out to the Inverpolly Nature Reserve. I'm going to try and get a photograph of a mountain called Suilven. It's a very distinctive mountain, and it's something I've wanted to photograph for a long time really. But the geology of this area is quite interesting. Unlike the mountains of the south, which are more complex massifs with chains of rocky ridges, the mountains in this area, they rise individually like monoliths out of the surrounding landscape, and it makes for very, very dramatic scenery indeed. And today I've got a mix of sunshine and showers, so it's really ideal conditions to get something quite dramatic. So at the moment I'm just following a path up that will hopefully give me some tremendous views towards the mountain of Suilven. I've already had a glimpse of it about half an hour ago, but making steady progress upwards. If I just spin us round, I should get a good idea of just how superlative the scenery is here. So onwards and upwards, and hopefully I'll get to where I want to be pretty soon. At its most basic, a large format camera is just a light type box with somewhere to put a lens at the front and a piece of film at the back, with a mechanism to move the lens away from the film to achieve focus. The lenses themselves are usually pretty basic. The shutters are almost always clockwork, and the lens itself is mounted to a board that allows it to be fitted to the front of the camera. Most large format cameras allow for something called movements. This is where the front and sometimes the rear standards can be tilted in a number of ways to modify the way the image is focused onto the film. It's these aspects that make using a camera such as this such a hands-on experience. Similar to playing an LP on a record player, shooting a photograph on film requires a very particular process to be followed in the same order every time. It starts with setting up the tripod, then unpacking and assembling the camera and fitting the lens. To compose an image on a large format camera, we need to shield the viewfinder, which is the ground glass screen at the back, from ambient light so that the image can be viewed. This is normally done using a dark cloth, as I'm using here. The image that you see on a viewfinder of a large format camera is inverted both horizontally and vertically, which has its advantages because it isolates the image that you're seeing from the actual scene itself. It can make it easier to isolate problem areas of the photograph that might otherwise be missed if you were just looking through the standard viewfinder. Once the composition's been set up and focused, it's time to take a meter reading and then transfer those values onto the lens. All that's left then is to load a film holder, pull the dark slide out and take the image. I didn't vlog over that shot because I needed to concentrate and sort of work with the conditions, so apologies for that, but hopefully the picture will turn out as I'd hoped. It took me a couple of attempts to get a composition that I was looking for, and I was a bit blind because I got the camera set up and I was struggling to find something, and then just to the left it's a great big boulder field, so I ended up moving the camera to there and then managed to get something set up. So, but yeah, really pleased with just being out here, to be honest. Stunning, spectacular scenery with a good light show, and what better place to work with a large format camera. It's all about simplicity and just paring everything back to the basics, and that's a process I really enjoy. I did take some digital photos, of course. I might pop a couple of those up on the video as well, because large format film photography is really only, I don't know, 5% maybe of all the photography I do. Most of it's digital, but I reserve the large format for when I want a little bit more of an artisan experience from my photography trips, and that's certainly what I've got today. It's been absolutely brilliant. So then, that's why I like to use film and an analogue process for my photography. While many people focus on the technical qualities of a photograph, sharpness, resolution and so on, it's important not to forget that the means is just as important as the end. And in my case, the choice of medium promotes a slow, thoughtful process, which in turn enables me to absorb the moment of picture making as a complete and memorable experience. Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, don't forget to leave a like and a comment, and if you'd like to see more videos like this, you can subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to hit that notifications bell, as it will let you know when I put out another video. I hope to see you next time.